Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Sunday, April 27th, 2025, my newest segment of Markets A Look Ahead. People, we're going to do that. What I've done for you, in fact, I literally just put this out this morning. This is in your inbox right now. If you do subscribe to my free newsletter, link in the description of this video. I want to cover this with you guys and girls out here. I want you to ponder what I have put down here. It's going to affect each and every one of us moving forward. We're already there, you and me. We're prepared for this mentally, physically, spiritually, period, the freaking end. I think we're on the same page. Understanding the current dynamics that are in play really honestly make it way too easy for those of us that have even the slightest understanding of what's happening and why to be ready for the impact of what is coming. And we're going to talk about some solutions here. There's one real solution to this entire thing. And you and I know that we've covered the solutions repeatedly here on this blog. None of it's going to happen, unfortunately, because the bigger design is staged in such a way to destroy the current system and only issuing a new one of maximum control over all of us, whoever's left. I mean, we're leading into a moment in time that people are going to remember for thousands of years as the global population is systematically eradicated. Understand that control requires power to be consolidated in fewer and fewer hands, absolutely. But also it requires people, I'm just going to come out and say it, a dramatic reduction in the population of the planet. I think we're on the same page. At least I hope so. That is their grander plan. And they're pushing us closer and closer to that time. But what I've done, again, this is just 6 months from now. If you recall, I did a video about a month ago where I explained to you that 6 months from that time, the economy would be unrecognizable. So what I've done with this is, again, my job is about connecting the dots, looking at the macro picture, putting this all together in a way that makes sense. Now, we've been really spot on. Go back as far as you want to go. So I'm telling you that what I'm going to cover with you right now, this is going to happen exactly the way it's outlined here. So I'm going to urge you guys and girls again, subscribe to my newsletter. It's free. I put a lot of stuff out there for you. Again, link in the description of this video. This is in your inbox with a whole bunch of other stuff. And I'm going to cover this now. I don't put all of my thoughts here. So I'm going to cover this now and then kind of expand on where my head is at with regard to this. All right. So let's talk, you and me. All right. With regard to the market, people, look, it's a freak show. Completely disconnected from reality. We all know that. We'll talk more market-specific stuff like for the week beginning tomorrow. For you lions out here that are looking forward to, and I know a lot of you are, my breakdowns of the S&P 500, crude oil, gold, Bitcoin, XRP. I'm going to have that all done for you later on. It'll also be on my website with trades for you. I mean, I got your back. You know that. In the description of this video, there is a link to my website as well, and that'll all be there for you in a couple of hours. I like to get you guys ready for, well, the next trading day tomorrow. But right now, we're going to focus on this, people, because this is big. Here we go. 6-month economic outlook. Just 6 months from now, currency devaluation and debt expansion. We all know it's coming, but I'm going to outline for you specifically what the fallout is going to be. And again, what we can do about this moving forward. So Lions, currency devaluation will accelerate. This is no secret. We all know this is happening. It's an astonishing factor. Everybody knows this is going to happen. Wherever you are in the world and you're watching this video, you do realize that your central bank is going to work to devalue the currency in concert with puppets that are put behind the Resolute desk and every other freaking debt here to try to sell you that we need lower rates, because that's all we're hearing from world leaders. Not one is calling for higher rates or returning purchasing power to the currency. No, because that would help the middle class. What they're talking about here is, again, currency purchasing power destruction, more pressure on everyone. Let's go through this. So again, currency devaluation will accelerate. On the same page, over the next 6 months, central banks, especially the Fed, will keep debasing their currencies by printing currency or creating credit creation, pull cash into the now mechanisms out of nothing, like war. Again, think about what I'm saying. Right now, 7 weeks here in the United States, we're in a war in Yemen, around the clock, 24/7, we're burning up hundreds of billions of dollars, not to fight terrorism, not to free up shipping lanes, but as a mechanism to pull cash into the now. This is a credit or a debt, same thing, creation mechanism, and they're not done throwing things at us here. So, even if they pretend to fight inflation, and we hear this all the time, we heard it was temporary, we heard it was transitory, guess what, it really wasn't, and you and I nailed it from day one. As they will continue to lie, okay, the underlying forces require endless liquidity. Now you know that. Hold that thought. Real purchasing power of fiat currencies will fall steadily as they are, and it's accelerating. There's no secret here to anybody, right? Now, people, as you know, let me just show you this. There is a massive global liquidity crisis underway right now, which we have already discussed multiple times. So what is their solution? There it is. Vast debt expansion. There is no solution. See, what they're working towards is, again, destruction. There's no building here. It's all about destruction methodically, piece by piece. It's freaking diabolic to wipe out the middle class, to issue in a new system, to have us on our knees and beg for a new system. We've been talking about this forever here. But we're getting down to the wire. In fact, I think we're there right now. So their solution here is going to be vast debt expansion, whether it's from war, another scamdemic, whatever they got to do. Crisis, 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 crisis. You know what I'm saying is true. So let's move forward. Vast debt expansion is their solution. Governments will continue to borrow massively to fund deficits, stimulus, wars, engineered crisis situations, etc. Are we all on the same page? Global debt will grow by trillions in the next 6 months. Over the next 6 months, we're going to watch global debt skyrocket. You don't believe me? Keep your eyes on it yourself. Bond market distortions and more emergency interventions will deepen. We all know that's going to happen as well. We're watching a phenomenon here, especially in the United States. You got the Fed, which is buying all the debt that other nations are dumping. Why? Because that's what they want to do. They want to own it all. Their goal, every central bank, especially the Fed, because we still have the world reserve currency, and that's changing, is to buy it all, to own it all, to have power over all of us. Again, there are roughly 5 families in the world that control every single central bank. Well, all the central banks of developed nations, of so-called developed economies. Let's just say that, all right? And I outlined this all for you recently. I told you who's really pulling the strings. I did a whole paper on it. It's in your inbox if you follow my newsletter. I did a video on it. It's all there for you people. So anyway, central bank digital currencies will quietly advance. We all know this is happening too. This is another phenomenon that everyone knows is coming. I don't see enough pushback against it yet. While chaos unfolds, engineered chaos unfolds. Again, this is not by accident, no chance, no comedy of errors. The groundwork for central bank digital currencies will continue to force us into a digital control grid system. How all of this so far will impact the middle class. Bear with me because we have more to cover here. Cost of living explosion. What you're seeing now is going to get much, much worse. We're going to see, people mark my words on this, okay? We're going to see supply chain disruptions. There's no doubt at all. You're going to see prices skyrocket, even without tariffs. Currency debasement is going to accelerate moving forward. Central banks are not done squeezing us here. So let's move forward here. Cost of living explosion, essentials like food, energy, housing, insurance, etc. will rise faster than wages. The gap between real income, okay, and real expenses, because we live in the real world, duh, okay, will widen dramatically. People, we know this already. Again, this is kind of review for the most part. This will widen dramatically. Inflation taxes the middle class the hardest. Why? Because as a percentage of their income, the middle class spends more on necessities. Make sense? Of course it does, because you're smart. Now, here's something I want you guys to understand that you're never going to hear about from the mainstream media. No politician is going to tell you this. No central banker is going to tell you this. There's something called wage compression. If you've studied economics and finance at all, you already know what wage compression is. But again, this is the kind of thing that people are not allowed to know, and it affects the middle class the most. Let's talk about wage compression. Okay. In finance and economics, there is a phenomenon or a basic concept known as wage compression. Now pay attention to this, wage compression. This is how it works. Salaries may rise, and you're going to hear this get twisted by the media. Oh, people are making more money. This is great. Salaries may rise, but never fast enough to match the true loss in currency value or loss of purchasing power. Middle-class households will feel poorer even if their paycheck increases. This is called wage compression, all right? Basic economics and finance 101. Now, moving forward, asset price distortions. These are going to get more dramatic moving forward. Hard assets, gold, silver, my favorite of all time, farmland, real estate will keep climbing in nominal price. Sounds about right to you. Now, paper assets, 401k plans, pensions, investment plans, etc. will become more volatile and vulnerable, people. We all know this here. This is, again, kind of review to sudden wealth destruction. Eventually, this is all going to melt down. The real meltdown will begin and end in the debt market. It is not going to begin and end in the stock market. Okay, so they want you to focus on the stock market, but you really got to be focusing on the debt market. That's my job, to keep all of you ahead of the curve on this, and I think we've done a damn good job of it. Those who hold only paper will suffer. Credit dependency trap. There's a trap here. I've warned all of you guys and girls for as far back as you want to go about trapdoors. Trapdoors are everywhere, and they're put there for a reason. They want you to fall through it. And I consider it my privilege to make all of you aware of what these trapdoors are, where they are, and how to sidestep them. Sound about right to you? So current credit dependency trap. As purchasing power falls, and do you have any doubt that it's not going to, especially with calls for lower rates from the dumpy president and the Fed going to buy it all? Central banks, their goal is to inflate. Of course, we're going to see this here. Middle-class families will be forced deeper into debt slavery, just to maintain the same lifestyle, and they're going to borrow from the credit cards and loans and refinancing and everything they can possibly do. Again, debt slavery expands without most people even realizing it's happening to them. It's like the boiling frog, people. That's crazy. Now, this is something I've been covering a lot as of late, and I want to focus on this just a little bit. Small businesses here in the United States, they're being systematically eradicated along with the middle class. There's not a single policy, not one. And if I'm wrong, those of you that feel that I am, tell me how I'm getting this wrong, okay? Because I know I'm going to get a little pushback. Tell me where I'm getting this wrong. I am willing to accept it. Now, I've been saying to you that, again, there's not a single policy right now, economic policy, President Trump, he doesn't pull the strings, but let's just say they're his policies that are going to support small businesses here. As a matter of fact, every single policy that President Trump has in effect right now is going to crush small businesses here in favor of the corporate agenda, because he's not really pulling the strings. You understand? He's a puppet. He's been fully puppetized. He took the oath. The vetting that takes place on Wall Street, behind closed doors, behind every presidential selection. Imagine that. Don't take my word for this. Every presidential selectee must appear before a board. Okay? We don't even know who this board is. It includes the 5 families that run the central banks of the world. They're vetted first, and then put in positions of power, in this case, the presidency of the United States, to help extort control out of all of us. Not to help us all, but to support the corporate agenda and the agenda of central banks. Are we on the same page? Small business destruction. The squeeze on real spending will crush small businesses, and this is only one element of it. Okay, we cover it all the time. Who rely on discretionary income. Corporations, here we go, who borrow at near zero real rates will swallow more market share. What? Because this is the design. Fulfill the corporate agenda, crush small businesses. That's what this is all about. Entrepreneurship, evaporate. Do you not see that what I'm saying here is true? Or, again, if you feel that what I am saying here is wrong, please feel free to put a comment. You're allowed to disagree with me. But tell me what I am missing. And so we can all get stronger together. Sound about right? Anyway, corporations who borrow at near zero real rates will swallow more market share. Middle class entrepreneurship, a pillar of freedom, will erode even faster. Sound about right so far? Here's the next, or what we're going to start to see more of moving forward. I should have numbered these, but I didn't. So, social and political pressure, rising anger, frustration, and confusion. People don't know what's going on here. We're supposed to be MAGA. We're supposed to be this. Well, it's all turning. Everything has been turned from what people believed was going to happen to what is actually happening. And this is no surprise. Politicians, they talk a really good game because, again, they read from teleprompter to teleprompter. They're told what to say. It's all scripted. Here, here, and then the one in front of them. Here, here, and the one in front. None of the words are their own. Very few are their own. And when you hear, let's say, a president, for example, start to stumble or get confused, and I know there's a lot of YouTube videos lately talking about President Trump here stumbling and not being able to put sentences together. It's not that he's becoming deranged. It's not that he's stupid. He's going off script a little bit, and he has to maintain the script that he's told to say. So when you watch a YouTuber, okay, who's trying to, let's say, pick on President Trump. Well, look, he can't put a sentence together. It's not because he can't put a sentence together. The script that he's supposed to follow is being interrupted. You understand? And then he has to get back on script. So again, these little moments of confusion that we're all starting to see with the president here, it's not because he's losing his marbles. It's because the script is being deviated a little bit, and he has to get back on track with the script. This is a lot lately. Don't take my word for this. A lot of you guys follow President Trump. You hear what he says. Sometimes he seems to stumble. The sentences don't work. It's not because he's becoming demented. It's not because he's losing his marbles. It's because the script is in it. He has to follow the script. So when you hear that deviation, or he seems to be stumbling on a word or a sentence, it's not because he's, again, losing his marbles. It's because the script must be followed. You understand? He's got to get back on track. This is how it works. Nothing is left to chance anymore. That's where we are. We're in the final phases here of a takedown of the global economy and the fulfillment of a multi-century goal. Central banks have only existed for over a century, but the phenomenon, the cartels that control all this, they're ancient, and it goes back thousands and thousands of years. But again, power is being consolidated into fewer and fewer people and fewer families, and right now, we're in the end stage. Anyway, as I was saying here, social and political pressure, rising anger, frustration, confusion among the middle class will fuel unrest, division, and calls for more government intervention, which is what they want. They need you dependent on the current system. Does that sound right to you or familiar to you? I've only told you this for many, many, many months. Now, I wrote Lions. As we have discussed repeatedly, the middle class is being systematically erased through engineered inflation and vast debt expansion, and we're going to see this accelerate. Millions of people are going to slip into permanent poverty or dependence. Why? Because that's the goal. To create slaves to the system. People, this can all be fixed. President Trump could fix it today. Again, the Gold Reserve Act of 1934 exists to change all of this. President Trump could end the Federal Reserve today via instituting the Gold Reserve Act of 1934. That would be the ultimate solution here. And erase the Federal Reserve. Again, think about what I'm saying. The moment that President Trump finishes signing his name on instituting the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, the Federal Reserve disappears. Poof, gone. Yesterday, we begin a whole new millennium. Won't happen. What you're going to hear is more calls for lower rates, weaker currency. These are President Trump's two things that he's been pushing. Our economic policy is this: tariffs, lower rates, and currency purchasing power destruction. That's not an economic policy. It's an economic wrecking machine. These are not President Trump's plan. Again, with regard to the tariffs, we found out that it wasn't even his plan, or so he said. President Trump let us know that it was Peter Navarro who's the architect behind the tariffs. Although we do really understand that Trump has been behind tariffs for a long time. This was a deflection onto Navarro to keep it off. But again, Trump's talking about lower rates, which means currency purchasing power destruction. Period. Loss of the currency. Now we can fix this again. Solution number one, the ultimate solution. The ultimate solution is to have President Trump sign into law the Gold Reserve Act of 1934. This means take the gold, monetize, even if there's no gold there. A lot of people don't think it's there. Even if it were one brick of gold there, President Trump could revalue that one brick of gold per ounce at whatever he wants, $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, whatever he wants. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's just say the gold is still there, which was really a priority to go see. Remember, the gold may not be there. Doge and Musk and Trump, they were going to go rushing over there. No, nothing has happened. Okay, kind of interesting too. Just kind of like the Epstein files. Where did they go? Okay, you're not supposed to know that Trump's name is all over it. That's why it's not really out there. But let's not even go there. Anyway, with regard to this whole thing here, look, man, we could fix the problem. Gold Reserve Act of 1934, monetize the gold. President Trump could revalue gold at whatever he sees fit per ounce, back the dollar with it, Federal Reserve, poof, gone, goes away. Won't happen. We could also have vastly higher rates moving forward. We're already in an economic destruction. I understand what I'm saying, that by raising rates, it would crush the economy. We're getting crushed anyway. We're going into an inflationary, depressionary event on a scale people have no idea where we're going. But if we're still going into an economic meltdown, which we're in right now. But if we were getting higher rates, it wouldn't be so much a deflationary currency purchasing power destruction, depression. We would retain purchasing power. And there's a massive lag effect here. So we would not need to see these rates starting to be raised dramatically right now. But that's not what we're going to see. You understand? The solutions are out there. They're everywhere. But we're not going to get them because, again, the mechanism here by central banks puppetizing world leaders, presidents, whoever else, is, again, to destroy the current system, to bring us all to our knees, to have us beg for a new system. Now, what we can do here, again, bet against the system, become your own central bank, as we've been doing, holding silver, my favorite asset of all time, at least from a financial standpoint. But this is way greater than that, people. We need to reconnect with the source. You know that? Okay? It's the number one thing to do. We need to align ourselves with the right people. We need to build relationships. These are all solutions as well. We're going to need each other more so than ever, as what I have written here, people. Look, if you think I'm going to be wrong, save this video and save this. 6 months from today, you're going to see all of this, what I put for you, start to unfold even more dramatically. All right? Now, again, this is for you guys and girls, not for me. I know this stuff quite obviously. And I hope you guys and girls are taking action. You're not just sitting back, sucking your thumb. Taking action means sharing this video as well, getting it out there. If I've earned you a thumbs up, I would appreciate that. Let the algorithms pick this up. Guys, this is our thing. I don't know how long I've been telling you that. This isn't Greg Mannarino's channel, Greg Mannarino's thing. I may be the daddy lion here, and I'm looking more like a lion every day. My hair's a mess. But we're all equal partners in this, all right? And we're trying collectively to make a positive difference in this world. That's all I care about. Again, I don't want accolades. I don't want awards, nothing. I want to make a positive difference in the world, because when I leave this world one day, like we all will, I want to be remembered for that, as a guy who tried to make a positive difference in the world. Isn't that what you want? We can't leave with anything. I don't care how many millions or billions of dollars you may have acquired during your lifetime. You know where it goes. It doesn't go with you. It doesn't go with you. Anyway, love you guys and girls with all I got. All right, so I do want to hear from you on this. Tell me where I got this right. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me where you think I got this wrong. I'd love to hear from you as well. All right? That's it, people. We're going to see each other tomorrow morning. And again, if you're looking forward to my breakdowns of the market, crude oil, gold, XRP, and Bitcoin, I'm going to have that for you in a few hours. It'll be right on my website, traderschoice.net. Link in the description of this video. I got you covered from every angle. Every freaking angle, people. And this guy, I have tripled my efforts so far, as you can tell, this year alone. I am working harder than I ever have, because I think we're getting closer and closer to, it's already happening. The meltdown is here. We're in a full-blown liquidity crisis, a full-blown currency crisis. We're in a new war. How many of you thought that would happen when President Trump was selected here? Not many of you. Most of you thought that these wars would disappear. I told you they wouldn't. I said there would be more war. You think I got that one right too? Of course, because it's too easy. We know their playbook. I have their playbook. That means you have their playbook, all right? Love all you guys. I swear with all I got in my heart and my soul and my spirit. I'll see all you guys in the morning, okay? And I do want to hear from you again. I will read the comments. I promise. I'll see you tomorrow.